in 1 and 0. Who can look better, Zoe, than their teacher? Let's see. So Ashley is staring right at the screen. I love that. David's back is really straight, Alex, and his hands, Josiah, are folded. Nathaniel's eyes are locked on the board. JL's eyes are locked on the screen, as are Karina's and Almam's. I was thinking that today we could definitely do a poll, and maybe I could let someone help me by drawing on the screen, but I can't do that unless we're showing our best behavior during the whole lesson, Owen. So 5 more seconds, back straight, hands folded. Jewel, sit up in 3, Michael Akia, 2, 1, Zoe Stukes, 0. Checking page 1, Josiah, I love your folded hands. Braden and Noah, nice eyes. Checking page 2, Owen, fix your body. Checking page 3, Caitlin, wow, mommy's still looking excellent. Kyrie, way to go. And page 4, great. Brandon Crumble, please sit down in 3 seconds. Okay, so we are today moving into chapter 19. It's called The Inventing Room, Everlasting Gobstoppers, and Hair Toffee. Based on what we know about Willy Wonka, what might the chapter called The Inventing Room be about? Put a thumbs up if you can tell me what might the chapter called The Inventing Room be about. Thumbs up to your chest. Okay, coming to you, Alex. I can also spotlight you because you look so professional right now. Unmuting you, hold on. Okay, Alex, what do you think this chapter might be about, sweetie?
I think this chapter might be about it might be the guest going into Willy Wonka's inventing room where he makes all the chocolate and invents like his fudge and in the title the everlasting Godstoppers.
Right, great idea. Give him some shine, give Alex some shine, and then fold in 3, checking pages in 2, in 1 and 0, fold those little hands. Checking page 1, Zoe Stukes, it will be a call home if I have to speak to you again, sweetheart. Checking page 2, wow, Zoe Stanley, I can tell you're so ready to read. You look like a 4th grade reader. Caitlin's back is super straight, so is Kyrie, so is Dariani. If you can't find it, Aaliyah and James, it's totally fine. You know I'm going to show it to you on the screen, Michael, Susie. Okay, so we just made a prediction about what chapter 19, The Inventing Room, might be about. And I especially liked Alex's answer because he kind of sort of linked it to what we know about Willy Wonka. And we know that Willy Wonka invents all these different types of chocolate and candy. And so maybe this is a place where he does all that really cool work. I'm going to put my screen up on the on your screen now, so you should be able to see mine. And I'm going to put up our chapters for today. Before we start reading, I'm going to scan that everyone's sitting in Scholar with their hands folded and their back straight, looking either at their packet or at my PowerPoint. Who's showing me they're ready to read? Maddie's ready to read. Aisha's ready to read. Ariani's excited to read. So is Caitlin. So is Nogi. Matthew put it down. So is Almam. So is Sakir, who loves reading more than anything else in the world. So is James. Wow, look at that straight back. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. Let's start reading chapter 19 of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Inventing Room. When Wonka shouted, "Stop the boat," the Oompa Loompas jammed their oars into the river and backed water furiously. The boat stopped. The Oompa Loompas guided the boat alongside the red door. On the door it said, "Inventing Room, private, keep out." Mr. Wonka took a key from his pocket, leaned over the side of the boat, and put the key January in the keyhole. "This is the most important room in the entire factory," he said. "All my most secret new inventions are cooking and simmering up in here." Old Fickelgruber would give his front teeth to be allowed inside just for 3 minutes. So would Prodnose and Slugworth and all the other rotten chocolate makers. But now listen to me. I want no messing about when you go in. No touching, no meddling, and no tasting. Is that agreed? "Yes, yes," the children cried. "We won't touch a thing." Up to now, Mr. Wonka said, nobody else, not even, I should see you flipping a page, not even Oompa Loompa has been allowed in here. He opened the door and stepped out of the boat into the room. The four children and their parents all scrambled after him. Don't touch, shouted Mr. Wonka, and don't knock anything over. Charlie Bucket stared around the gigantic room in which he now found himself. The place was like a witch's kitchen. All about him, black metal pots were boiling and bubbling on huge stoves, and kettles were hissing, and pans were sizzling, and strange iron machines were clanking and sputtering, and there were pipes running from the walls and the ceiling, and the whole place was filled with smoke and steam and delicious rich smells. Wonka himself had become even more excited than usual, and anyone could see that this was the room he loved best of all. Why does Wonka love this room best of all? Thumb up on your chest, Adonis put it down. Thumb up on your chest if you have an idea. Why does he love this room the most of all? Look at those beautiful bodies and thumbs up. I love it, Zoe Stanley. Going to you, Noah. Noah, why do you think that Wonka loves this room the most of all? Looking for friends that are tracking him with hands folded. Go ahead, Noah.
I think he loves this room the most because this is where he makes his delicious chocolates and other creations.
Evaluate his answer. Evaluate Noah's answer right now. Great job. Shout out to Minko and David and Miriam for the really respectful tracking. Okay, beautiful. We're back on me. Let's keep reading about this room that we know Wonka is so excited about and loves so much. Back on the PowerPoint. Here we go. He was hopping about among the saucepans and the machines like a child among his Christmas presents, not knowing which thing to look at first. He lifted the lid from a huge pot and took a sniff, and then he rushed over and dipped a finger into the barrel of sticky yellow stuff and had a taste. And then he skipped across to one of the machines and turned half a dozen knobs this way and that. And then he peered anxiously through the glass door of a gigantic oven, rubbing his hands and cackling with delight at what he saw inside. Then he ran over to another machine, a small shiny affair that kept going pop, 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 pop. And every time it went pop, a large green marble dropped out of it into a basket on the floor. At least it looked like a marble. Everlasting gobstoppers, cried Mr. Wonka proudly. If you've ever had an everlasting gobstopper from the grocery store or the bodega, give me a me too if you've ever had an everlasting gobstopper. Yeah, they're pretty yummy. I used to eat them a lot when I was a little kid. Great, and I saw friends turning the page, which tells me you're following along. Really nice job. They're completely new. I'm inventing them for children who are given very little pocket money. You can put an everlasting gobstopper in your mouth and you can suck it and 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 suck it, and it will never get any, say it to your camera. It will never get any. Good. It's like gum, cried Violet Beauregard. It is not like gum, Mr. Wonka said. Gum is for chewing, and if you tried chewing one of these gobstoppers, you'd break your teeth off. They taste terrible. Oh, sorry. They taste terrific, and they change color once a week, and they never get any smaller, and they never disappear, never. At least, I don't think they do. There's one of them being tested this very moment in the testing room next door, and Oompa Loompa is sucking it. And he's been sucking it for very nearly a year now without stopping, and it's still just as good as ever. Now over here, Mr. Wonka went on, skipping excitedly across the room to the opposite wall. Over here, I'm inventing a completely new line in toffee. He stopped beside the large saucepan. The saucepan was full of thick, gooey, purplish treacle, boiling and bubbling. By standing on his toes, little Charlie could just see inside of it. Posture check in 5. In 4, who can I spotlight? Right here, right now. In 3, yep, coming to you, David. Excellent. Who else can I spotlight? In 2, look at that 4th grade posture. He's ready to keep reading. In 1, and wow, Amelia, spotlight on you, Nathaniel. Look at her, straight back and eyes on the camera. Spotlighting Fafi. Spotlighting Zoe Stanley, making the best decision she's been making all day. Beautiful. Let's keep reading. Nice job. I'm excited to hear what happens next. That's hair toffee, cried Mr. Wonka. You eat just one tiny bit of that, and in exactly half an hour, a brand new, luscious, thick, silky, beautiful crop of hair will start growing out all over the top of your head, and a mustache, and a beard. If you would want to eat a hair toffee, give me a me too. Give me a me too if you would want to eat a hair toffee. Oh, Brayden would. Brayden wants a mustache. Fatima's like, no way. Okay, let's keep reading. A beard, cried Veruca Salt. Who wants a beard, for heaven's sake? Well, it would suit you very well, said Mr. Wonka, but unfortunately the mixture is not quite right yet. I've got it too strong. It works too well. I tried it on an Oompa Loompa yesterday in the testing room, and immediately a huge beard started shooting out of his chin, and the beard grew so fast that soon it was trailing all over the floor in a thick, hairy carpet. It was growing faster than we could cut it, and in the end we had to use a lawnmower to keep it in check. But I'll get the mixture right soon, and when I do, there'll be no excuse anymore for little boys and girls going about with bald heads. But Mr. Wonka, said Mike TV, little boys and girls never do go about with. Don't argue, my dear child. Please don't argue, cried Mr. Wonka. It's such a waste of our precious time. Now, if we're here, if you step this way, I will show you something that I am terrifically proud of. Oh, do be careful. Don't knock anything over. Stand back. So, scholars, look at me, eyes on me, hands folded. 3, checking every single scholar in 2, in 1, and Joelle, sit up. 0, Owen. Let's see who looks professional like a 4th grader. Maddie does. Adonis, it's about to be a phone call if the pencil does not go down. Owen does. I see his eyes tracking me. Wow. Could Carolyn's back be any straighter, Michelle? And could her hands be folded more nicely? So, Michael, I heard Wonka say a few different things to the kids that I want to bring to your attention. So, Veruca Salt said, who wants a beard? And he told Veruca that a beard would suit her very well. Then later on, he told Mike TV to stop arguing. He said, please don't argue. It's such a waste of time. So my question for you now is this, and I'm looking for thumbs up and straight backs. How might Wonka feel about the other kids that Charlie's with? How do you think Wonka feels about Veruca and Mike TV? How might he feel about these kids? Thumbs up when you have an idea. I would love to hear your thoughts here. Going to Zoe Stanley because you continue to make amazing choices right now. Zoe, how might Wonka feel about them? Go ahead.
Wonka might think that the kids are spoiled, but he doesn't want to admit it because he wants to be nice to his guests.
He thinks they're what?
He thinks they're maybe a tad bit spoiled.
Okay.
But he wants to be nice and not be mean to the guests.
But Zoe, is he being nice?
Well, it is. It's not nice if it's the truth.
Okay. Well, he told Veruca she would look good with a beard. Do you think that was very nice?
No.
Okay.
I think he just told her that for her to be quiet.
So what I'm hearing you say, Zoe, is that you don't think that he really likes them very much. Like, he kind of thinks they're spoiled brats, right? Okay.
Especially Augustus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is Augustus anyway?
Oh, who can tell Zoe? Put a thumb up. Where is Augustus?
I know where he is. I'm like, why is he not in the story yet? I'm confused.
Because he went up the chocolate pipe, my dear.
How come?
All right.
It took
Okay. We are resetting to keep reading. We're reading chapter 20 next. In 5, I'm checking pages in 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Who looks the best on each page? Ooh, Adonis, you fixed it, giving you some shine through the computer. Josiah. Peyton, you look amazing. Nice straight back. Zoe Stooks, I see your chat, and I would totally love to pick you, but I need you to sit in Scholar the whole time. Felix, making great choices, folding your hands now. Isabella, nice straight back. Kyrie. And Brandon Crumble, I like that I see your eyes. Beautiful. Let's keep reading. Chapter 20, the great gum machine. Oh my goodness gracious. Tell your camera right now, who's going to be excited about the gum? Who's going to be excited about the gum? Yes. Let's see what happens. Hold those hands. 3, 2, 1. And January, 0. Nice choices. Yet again, 3rd grade, you continue to impress me. Chapter 20, the great gum machine. Oh boy, David looks like a great reader right now. I can see him in my screen. Mr. Wonka led the party over to a gigantic machine that stood in the middle stood in the very center of the inventing room. It was a mountain of gleaming metal that towered high above the children and their parents. And on the very top of it, there sprouted hundreds and thousands of little glass tubes. And the glass tubes are curled downward and came together in a bunch and hung suspended over an enormous round tub as big as a bath. I'm flipping the page. I see Madison doing it too because she's so on top of it. Here we go, cried Mr. Wonka as he pressed 3 different buttons down the side of the machine. Pretend you're pressing 3 buttons right now with me. Go. 1, 2, nice, Zoe Stook. 3, press those buttons, fold those little hands. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Wow, Alex, so professional. A second later, a mighty rumbling sound came from inside it, and the whole machine began to shake most frighteningly. Shake, 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 shake. Behind your screen, shake like a machine. Shake. Uh-oh, it's shaking, it's steaming. And steam became hissing out of it, and then suddenly the watchers noticed that runny stuff was pouring down the insides of the hundreds of little glass tubes and squirting out into the great tub below. Resetting and scholar checking pages in 3, in 2, in 1, Matt, fold, and 0. Wow. Continue to be impressed by you. Nice tracking, Michelle. Jaden, fold. Wow, great posture, James. Okay, let's keep reading. Okay, so we have this great machine and it is bubbling all over the place. And in every single tube, the runny stuff was of a different color, so that all the colors of the rainbow and many others as well came sloshing and splashing into the tub. It was a lovely sight, and when the tub was nearly full, Mr. Wonka pressed another button, and immediately the runny stuff stopped dripping out of the running out of the tubes. The rumbling sound disappeared, and a whizzing whirring sound took its place. And then a giant whizzer started whizzing round inside the enormous tub, mixing up all the different colored liquids like an ice cream January soda. Gradually, the mixture began to froth. It became frothier and frothier, and it turned from blue to white to green to brown to yellow, then back to blue again. Watch, said Mr. Wonka. Click went the machine, and the whizzer stopped whizzing. And now there came a sort of sucking noise, and very quickly all the blue frothy mixture in the huge basin was sucked back into the stomach of the machine. And there was a moment of silence, and then a few queer rumblings were heard, and then silence again. And then suddenly the machine let out a monstrous, a mighty groan. Behind your screen let out a huge groan. Oh, good. Fold those hands in 3, 2. Wow, Zoe Stanley, immediately you did it. 1, Zoe Stook. And 0. There was a moment of silence, and then, oh, we read that. It let out a monstrous, mighty groan, and at the same moment, a tiny drawer, no bigger than a drawer in a slot machine, popped out of the side of the machine. And in the drawer, there lay something so small and thin and gray that everyone thought it must be a mistake. The thing looked like a little strip of gray cardboard. The children and their parents stared at the gray strip lying in the drawer. You mean that's all? Said Mike TV, disgusted. That's all, answered Mr. Wonka, gazing proudly at the result. Don't you know what it is? There was a pause, and then suddenly Violet Beauregard, the goofy, gum-chewing girl, let out a yell of excitement. Ah! My goodness, gum! Show how excited Veruca Salt must be in this moment. Show how excited she must be. Whoa, Sarah, your face looks so excited. Luna's arms are up. She's like, yes! Okay, fold your hands 3. 2, Brayden, show me that you can take it back. 1, yes, David. Yes, Aisha. And 0. Great, let's finish this chapter. It's a stick of chewing gum, right? You are, cried Mr. Wonka, slapping Violet hard on the back. It's a stick of gum. It's a stick of the most amazing and fabulous and sensational gum in the world. Okay. Who can tell me what happened? Thumb up to your chest. Who can tell me what happened at the end of this chapter? Looking for friends that are sitting with a nice straight back and a thumb on their chest, ready to participate. Josiah, Adonis, now it is a call home because your pencil remains up. Carolyn, what happened at the end of this chapter, sweetie?
What happened at the end of this chapter is that when Mr. Wonka was making the gum. Nobody knew it was gum. Then after the machine stopped it, Veruca Violet Violet Beecher. She was so excited because she knew that it was made out of gum, and we know that she loves gum.
Yeah, that was my next question. We know that she loves gum, Carolyn, so she's super, super excited about this. Go girl. Okay. I'm going to mute you back up. All right, so let's take a look at our questions. I'm flipping over to number 1. If you have your packet, please do the same. For the rest of you, I'm going to put it on the screen. Get to number 1 if you can, and then fold those hands in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, Mishael, in 1. Wow, Noga Joan, you're setting such a nice example for your sisters in the back. And 0. Checking page 1, Zoe Stanley, put it down. Checking page 2, Karina. I love that you're adjusting the camera and sitting up nice and tall. Abdul, you look like a role model. And so do you, Maymore. Okay. Going back to my screen, back to the PowerPoint. Here's number 1. Which of the following best explains the impact of the illustration on page 89 on the reader's understanding of the main idea? Okay, so this is asking me to make a text-image connection. I'm going to go back to page 89 to see what that picture is showing me. So here's my picture, and cool for me, it takes up the entire page. And I'm going to circle it because this is my evidence. And I'm going to mark it number 1. Wow, Alex's eyes are locked on the screen. Same with David. I know they're going to get all of their multiple choice questions. Zoe, right? And they're definitely going to be able to participate in the poll. Okay, so this is my evidence for number 1. And I can see in this picture that there's all these pots bubbling up. And I can tell that Willy Wonka is really happy to be in this room because he's smiling. So my guess is that the author included this, Roald Dahl included this, because he wants us to see how proud Mr. Wonka is of all of his different inventions. Okay, so that's my idea. And that's what I'm going to write down. That's what I'm going to write down when I get back to my question. Okay, let's go back. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, resetting in Scholar in 3, in 2, in 1, and 0. Yes, David. Yes, Adonis. Yes, Braden. Mariam looks like a 4th grader, so does Luna. Great. So my draft here, love how Fatimanta's eyes are locked. My draft here is going to be, author wanted us to see how proud Willy Wonka is of inventions. You don't need to pick up your pencil. You do not need to write this right now. I have it covered for this one. So I have my draft. I found my evidence. Now let's go through my answer choices. The author wanted to show us how messy it is. We can definitely see that, but that doesn't really connect to the main idea, nor does it connect to the information in the text. So I'm going to cross that out. The author wanted to show what Mr. Wonka's favorite room looks like. Well, we do know that it's his favorite room, and that's why he's so proud of it, and that was what my annotation is. So I'm going to actually mark that with a dot now. Sorry, scholars. It's tricky to navigate. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's keep going through the answer choices. C says, the author wanted to show how the toffee is made. Nope, that's definitely not best connected to the main idea, nor is it connected to the information. The author wanted to show Violet is excited about the gray gum machine. A scholar could have gotten tricked and picked B because that was a different illustration, but I'm specifically paying attention to the illustration on page 89. So my best answer is B. My answer is B because it's relating to the picture on page 89, and it also relates to the main idea because we know this room's super important to Willy Wonka and he's really, really, really proud of it. Okay, we are moving on to the next question. Which detail from the story explains why Willy Wonka cares about his invention room? Now, I have a poll for us, but I need to see beautiful bodies and calm bodies. And I need to see hands folded and back straight. So I'm checking pages, Brayden. Checking page 1. They look like they could do a poll right now. Checking page 2. Sarah definitely wants to do my poll. So does Fossey. So does Sakir. Wow, Kyer looks like a role model. So does Dariani and Abdul, and Jace's eyes are locked. Okay, so everyone in this room right now, Isabella, looks like they could participate in my poll. Keep your eyes locked if you'd like to participate. Which detail from the story explains why Willy Wonka cares about the invention room? So this question is asking me why Willy Wonka cares so much and is so proud of his invention room. I want to focus on this word why, okay? It's one that we've gotten tripped up with in the past. What does why mean? Thumb to your chest if you can tell me what why means and how we can interpret that in a question. Thumb to your chest. Thumb to your chest if you could tell me what that means. Sorry, here we go. Maddie, go ahead, Mads. What does why mean?
Why means the reason of something.
Yeah, give her some shine. It's the reason. Very good job. So we want to make sure that we're finding the reason that Willy Wonka is so proud of his invention room and cares so much. So here are my answer choices. He ran over to another marble. I want no messing around when you go in, no touching. C, we won't touch a thing. Or D, all of my most secret new inventions are cooking and simmering in here. Why does he care so much about the invention room? The poll is going up on the screen. Is it A, B, C, or D? Here we go. You should be referring back to the text if you have it in front of you. Okay, 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'll know you're done and you're confident in your answer when you sit back and fold your hands. 5, 4, just like Fatumata, Zoe. 3, just like January. 2, just like Amelia. 1, just like Abdullah. And 0, poll is stopping. Okay. So what I'm seeing is that most of us chose D. If you chose D, show me a me too now. Great. Who could explain why D is the best answer? Thumbs up if you could explain why D is the best answer to this question. Put it in the screen, Abdullah, so that I can see. Thumbs up if you can tell me why D is the best answer. Prince, go ahead. D is the best answer because
B is the best answer.
No, the answer was not B. The answer was D. Go ahead.
B was the best answer because Willy Wonka had important stuff in his invention room, and he wanted nobody to touch it, and that shows why Willy Wonka cares about the invention room.
Okay, Madison, add on.
I want to add on with Prince because D is the best answer because B and C just tells us that don't touch it, and it doesn't explain why. And it doesn't explain why he really cares about it. And D explains that he has all his new inventions and he's cooked and he really cares about it.
That's a really great answer, Darius. So who can tell me why a scholar would get tricked and choose B? Maddie just gave a beautiful example. Why would a scholar get tricked and choose B? Actually, I have a better question. If B was the answer, what would the question be? If B was the answer, what would the question have been? If B was the answer, what would the question have been? JL, I'm looking for you because I know you love questions like this. What would the question have been? JL, what would the question have been?
I forgot what the answer to B was.
Look at the, okay, I'm coming to someone else. It's on the screen for you though. James, what would the question have been if the answer was B, sweetie?
The question had been is which detail from the text explains why Willy Wonka cares about the invention room?
Not quite. You wouldn't.
How?
You're right that we wouldn't use the word why, but instead of why, it would just say which detail shows that he cares about the invention room. We wouldn't need to ask the reason. We would just need to
really cares about it, and we can tell he really cares about it because he's saying, don't mess around, don't touch anything. Okay, back on me in 3, hands folded, 2, 1, and checking pages, 0. Checking page 1. Wow. Checking page 2, January. Checking page 3, loons. And checking page 4. Team, can someone call Caitlin? Umar, I love that your eyes are fixed on the screen. Okay, great. Let's look at the next problem together. Oops. The next problem says, read the following sentence. The stick of the most fabulous and amazing and sensational gum. The word sensational most likely means, okay, you have 1 minute on the timer to answer this question. I'm keeping it on the screen for you. 1 minute, go. What does the word sensational mean? Go ahead. Is it A, B, C, or D? You can write the answer even if you don't have the packet in front of you, sweethearts. Josiah, I saw your chat and maybe, but I need to see great behavior. "30 seconds. I see Owen really looking at the screen. I can tell he's super invested in getting this answer right. If you think that you got the answer right, give me a big, 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 big smile to show me that you're done and you're confident. Sarah's done. Ooh, Caitlin's done. Security is done. Our mom's is done. Jaden's done. You heard it, 10 seconds, 10, and then back straight, hands folded, 9, 8. Ooh, I'm gonna pick someone to circle the answer on the screen, but I'm looking for the best body in 2, in 1, in 0. Put a thumbs up to your chest if you know the answer and you know how to write on the screen. Okay, David, I have to come to you. You've looked absolutely amazing the entire time. Give him some shine. Wow, I didn't even ask to ask Abdullah. He was so excited for his friend. Okay, David, circle the answer to this problem that you got, sweetie pie. Most likely means
I can't draw.
There's definitely a way. Someone that knows how to cough, cough, crumble. Put your thumb up. Owen, coming to you, sweetie. Hold on. Owen, go ahead and draw on the board. Ooh. So Owen said that the word sensational most likely means A, senses. Agree or disagree? Okay. Who can fix it? Who can fix it? That's not right. Who can fix it? Zoe Stanley, do you know how to write on the board? Okay.
Yep.
Zoe. And tell us why you chose what you chose. Let me clear the other ones, honey. Okay, go ahead, Zoe.
I think it is this one. I picked B.
Okay, so Zoe's saying it's B. Why do you say B, sweetie?
I say B because extraordinary means it's amazing.
Okay. And what word in the problem told you is amazing? D or now it's another call home. Stop writing on the screen right now. Go ahead, Zoe.
I think extraordinary means sensational. Because when something's extraordinary, it's the most amazing thing in the world. And sensational is kind of like the most amazing thing in the world. So sensational sounds like the best synonym for extraordinary.
Yeah, that's a really great answer, Zoe. Give her some shine. Really nice job, Zoe. Okay. We are going to move on to the last question. We're not going to get to annotate now because some friends did not use that properly. Thank you so much to Zoe and David for trying your best to answer the question and do so correctly. We are on number 8. It's our last question of the day. Which of the following best explains why Willy Wonka doesn't want his visitors touching anything in the invention room? Which of the following best explains why Willy Wonka doesn't want his visitors touching, I want you to pay attention to that word, touching anything in the invention room. Go ahead and answer that now. 1 minute on the timer. Let's see who's doing their best work right now. See David working really hard. Looks like January's focusing. Ten more seconds to choose A, B, C, or D. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Thank you, Kair, for letting me know that in the chat. 5, 4, 3, hands folded, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, so Jewel, I just saw that you said that you couldn't answer it because you don't have the packet in front of you. Who can tell Jewel what we do when we don't have the packet? What do we do when we don't have the packet, Ariani?
You put thumbs up on your chest.
No, when we don't have the packet, what do we do? Do we just sit there and not do anything? What do we do, Dariani?
Ask you.
Nope. What do we do when we do not have the packet? Alex, go.
We should find a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, because I'm putting every question on the board, as are all of the teachers. Okay, if you're interested in getting one last opportunity to write on the screen, you will fold your hands and sit up straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Diego and Aaliyah put it down. Okay, I'm checking for someone that can answer this question. Jaden, coming to you. Jaden, I'm going to share my screen. Jaden, what do you think the answer is for 8?
I think that the answer is C.
Okay, can you go ahead and draw that? Oh, beautiful. Yes, the answer is C. Nice job. Give Jaden some shine. Who can tell Jaden, fold those little hands, who can tell Jaden why that's the answer? I mean, sorry, Jaden, can you tell us why that's the answer?
I know that's the answer because if you go back to the text, he says that he doesn't want them to look at anything and touch anything.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't want them to touch anything because something could happen to the candy if they touch it, and maybe it could fall over, and then suddenly all that work goes to waste. Okay, to end your day, sit up in scholar in 3, hands folded, 2, 1, and 0. So thank you to those of you today who were so hyper-focused the entire time, who were doing all their work and their pencil was moving across the paper. I want to shout out right now, David. I want to shout out Zoe Stanley for turning it around. I want to shout out Abdullah for always shining on his friends. Teachers, 3rd grade teachers, who do you want to shout out for their great work, not just in this block, but all across the day?
I want to shout out Noah for participating constantly. Nogajon for sitting up super straight and just looking very professional all the time. I want to shout out Caitlin for the same thing. She's super organized and she's always getting her work done.
Beautiful. Anyone else? Okay. You are moving into the rest of your day, which is your time to do your reading and your homework. If you are in my group, Jasleen, Miss O'Donnell's group, or Miss Aquino's group, you are Zoom calling at 4. Show me on your fingers what time you are calling us to talk about reading. Good. Make sure you read.
And my group, Miss Hines' group.
And Miss Hines' group as well. Beautiful. All right. We will see you soon. Some of you, the rest of you, we will see tomorrow. Have a lovely night. Bye, friends. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye.